Actually, every time I've built something, I've always thought, everyone's going to want one of these. Never happens.
Hey team, it's Henry from Crafting Good Health. Today we're going to do a workshop tour with Paddy and Matt where we're making a Valentino bike. Come on in.
We met many years ago now in Castlemaine, and someone who was doing a stunt on the road, and he happened to be Matt Ben doing one of his bikes that he'd made that happened to be rolling over while it had a big strip of fire on it.
Can we start by having a look around?
Sure can. Yeah, this is what I do in my spare time. Penny farthing, which I've been riding for years. Not built by me.
But built locally, yeah.
These are all sort of pretty average bikes that most people just throw away on the nature strip. If I was an eccentric billionaire, I would have something like Jay Leno has going on. I would have a
garage.
massive garage, but I'd have a bunch of people working with me and for me, so I could come up with ideas after ideas after ideas and get them working on it. I'd be the Jay Leno of bikes, but I don't get that much money. There's always projects going on. As you can see, the big project in the middle here is for the Castlemaine Billy Kart races. So this is the Pink Panther car, because we thought it's aerodynamic and fun.
Perfect.
Got a friend of mine to kind of build these wheels for me.
Is he a bit of a spokesperson?
Jeez. Are you sure you're not a father? No, it does 42 kilometres on a very slight hill, so we're quite happy about it. I've got to dress up as Inspector Clouseau. Well, that's actually the Harry Potter bike, the broomstick. It actually works, so when you sit on it and steer the broomstick, it steers the bike.
Wow. Is that
You might recognise what this is?
that?
It's the Batpod from the Dark Knight.
What's the inspiration for the current bike, Paddy?
Yeah, the inspiration is
Jealousy.
basically,
You've got Valentino.
in one word, it's jealousy.
Valentino's 1930s design that was commissioned by Mussolini in the late 1930s. Like the people's car, this is like the people's bike. And they're quite rare to find and hard to find, so I just figured that we could make it.
And which one are you working on today?
Not the Valentino number 6,
Okay.
that we seem to nickname Little P. Because
Paddy at the moment, this is where Little P is.
what feels really weird is there's nothing in front of you. So when you first get on and ride down the street, you feel like you're just sitting on like a school chair.
We both like bikes, but we also like a bit of theatre too. We thought, why don't we do something together? It's when the first time the Emporium, the O'Sullivan Den Emporium, in a couple of those shows we inspired a couple of young people they brought these ones along that they had seen us the year before. Thought,
That's right. One year in Kind did that show. The next year, 2 kids turned up with bikes that they built to show us. And we were quite, must have had an effect on something. What would turn back into normal kids again, and then adults become kids again.
Is that the goal overall, to have people to...
It wasn't really, we were just having fun. Really. We didn't really know what was going to happen. To get, when we started taking all our weird machines out there for people to ride.
We know that not everyone totally understands it, but generally people love it. But to have some sort of kid is that, okay, I can make something like that. That was a great thrill. For us, that's the sort of spontaneous almost interaction you have with people.
It's nice. Playing with people, as well as gives us an excuse to play ourselves too.
Yeah, exactly. Because we had once on the reverse steering bike, made and dressed up as a leopard, so we called it a leopard.
Yeah,
and this farmer was on
the Deaf Leopard.
There were 4 hours trying to get it, and he was so determined he'd turn up, and he's just determination, and you felt for him in the end because he was taking a pedal falling.
Before it arrived, Paddy and Matt had already cut apart 2 different bikes and welded them together to form the small body of the Velocino. They had removed the seat tube that ordinarily holds a bike seat in place and welded together the head tube of one bike to the chainstay and derailleur of the other. What do you think makes a good workshop?
I guess one that's just evolved. It works for me. It looks a little bit chaotic, but actually is fairly under control, really.
The first step today involved lengthening the head tube, which was sourced from parts from a kid's bike.
Some people just talk about stuff and don't do anything. We can do both because we love talking about sort of stuff and things like that, and then where possible, we know we sort of try to get something done. And
After welding and smoothing out the pole, it was greased and screwed in. So do you have a favourite bike to ride as opposed to the favourite one you built?
oh wow,
I
yeah.
love riding penny farthings.
And we both built pennies, you know,
Yeah.
in the past, you know. and-
Both race pennies as well.
And then, yeah, that
Makes you feel alive to fall off a penny farthing, gotta say.
Yep.
Don't look too close to my horrible welding.
Why do you think you're passionate about bikes, Paddy?
Yeah, I've always loved that idea of them of movement, you know, as a kid, you know, and just doing it and how they, you know, that thrill of going down a hill and that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, I always do that, and I think as a kid I took a lot of bikes apart, and then didn't really know how to put them back together.
What about you, Matt?
Freedom. That's always feels free to be on a bike. My grandparents, on my dad's side, never had a car in their lives, and they just used to go on holiday on the tandem. And so as a kid, I remember being on the back of Grandpa's tandem, just thinking it was just the most amazing thing, and him telling me not to push so hard.
The back wheel was fitted on, which was taken from one of the bikes used for the frame. Is part of the process or the end products making something that is individual or that no one else has? Or
Yes, probably if I'm honest. Yeah. But then sometimes I might have a dream about something. I go, oh, I wonder if I could do that. And then some kid might say something to me.
the next step was cutting down the handlebar stem.
You can probably see that the angle grinder is our favourite tool.
I'm looking forward to going to the cafe on the bike, getting a cappuccino, and you know, it's all Velocino cappuccino. That light's going to be out.
Then finding a thread to fix it into position.
This is the problem when you're doing this sort of thing, and you kind of like you're building stuff and making stuff and thinking, oh, I'll just cut it. And you cut it short and you think, oh, no, that thread's too long. But we're not engineers, that's the thing. We're
so
just garage hacks, I like to call it.
we're doing it by eye, and we're doing it. Engineers would run, you know, and like engineers would just say, oh no way, it's not possible.
Where do you get most of your parts?
Off the hard rubbish.
Ordinarily, the handlebar stem would hold the handlebars, but on a Valentino, a longer tube is added, so the stem is sliced in two, the first half connecting the front wheel to the elongated tube, and the second half joining the handlebars to the end of the tube. What's your daily practice then? Do you have a daily practice, a thing you have to do every day?
Yeah, and don't say the gin and tonic in the bath, because that was just a phase.
That was I had to say that was a pandemic lockdown phase.
Matt said a week, his
happened.
partner said, well, it did go on for
I thought that was being very European, and my wife was being very alcoholic.
On a Velocino, the handlebar tube runs parallel to the top tube.
It's amazing how good you can get stuff with just your eye. You can just look at stuff. And look at. Sometimes I got so excited that I've put the bike together, gone on the street, and it's still warm. It's like that's from the welding.
Well,
I was like, I can't wait. I'm going to try this out.
I guess it's together.
It's fresh out of the oven.
The chain rig, drive chain and pedals were screwed into position before the chain itself was fitted.
So these are the unique handlebars, actually.
The handlebars, which were two pieces of pipe fused together and bent into shape, were grinded down further so as to fit in the tube. How do you know if a bike is successful, Paddy?
That's fun to ride. We've done a few things that I think, Matt, like the treadmill bike was just a pain, and we were trying to get rid of it for a while. So now and again we'll make something that's
Treadmill bike was hysterical for everyone else.
yeah.
The most
It was
exhausting thing
just
to ride.
yeah, exactly. Woo! I love it. The handlebars. I may not have the biggest bum, but I got the biggest seat. That's what I love, putting stuff together. That's been sitting under the house for years. I was like, wait a second.
It's huge.
That is huge.
When you ask, it's massive.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right. I just have to work on the massive ass. Yeah.
What I find now is that in the past I've hacked stuff together just purely to ride it. Now I feel that now I've been doing it for so many years, I feel that it's got to look right aesthetically.
Really?
As well. Yeah, and then so that's evolved for me. And then even I'll clean everything up. So this sort of initial frame will end up looking like that little turquoise one there. That looks like it's come out of a shop. That was really just an experiment in how can I wanted to see if I can make one look like it's come from the factory, where it's just been hacked up like these ones. And let's just spray can and what do you feel like?
Just like me.
Yeah.
Finally, the seat post had to be cut down to prevent it from hitting the wheel and grinded down so as to fit in the tube that it wasn't designed for.
I wasn't just doing this for a job. So much fun.
Do you think you would if you had the option just to do this all day?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? That is good.
That is good, isn't it?
Towards the end, you get really excited about the ride. Is it going to work? Because it doesn't, does it?
Yeah. But good. All right, let's do it. Definitely, it's sort of my response to the world. Really, you know, you think, but having something that you can have some sort of control over, I think that's huge, and something that is actually, for me, a bit quirky.
I just really enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed kind of the thrill of trying to figure out why something works and how it works. But yeah, I'll probably do it a bit differently to people. I guess everyone does it differently. But you're right, it's my zen. I guess. Either riding bikes or building them. It's my mindfulness thing.
That's a great answer. This is a good shot.
I'm sure this. For years, people have said, "Oh, you should do a YouTube channel and blah 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 blah." Really, you should document everything you do. So I'd rather just do it. So I'll spend time filming.
Can you bring a little bit of slice?
Yeah.
Thanks, Henry. That
No pressure. I don't know, or if you want to
a
wait.
bit of slice.
You haven't done anything to deserve it. You're holding that camera.
Yeah.
I'm a psychopath. Out.